Hey, student athletes, it's Coach K. I just wanted to come on and say I'm super excited for y'all. I'm so glad that y'all are able to benefit from your name, image, and likeness, and that you are able to get to this bag pretty quickly. I'm so proud of y'all. But the one thing that concerns me the most is that many student athletes are not preparing for the backside of the blessing. I'm sure that some of y'all done met Uncle Sam already. I'm sure y'all done figured out what taxes are and all that good jazz, but I want to just be able to come to you and talk to you a little bit about this, because in a world full of people helping you get to the bag, I want to be that coach that helps you understand how to manage yourself. Because I know that if you cannot manage you, you're not going to be able to maintain or keep the things that you've acquired. That NIL is given to you, you're not going to be able to maintain it over a longer course of time. So today, I want to talk to you a little bit about value and how being in this space, this new space that you're in, can cause you to kind of like lose your way and forget who you are as an individual, right? So let's get started. All right. So like I mentioned earlier, there's a backside to the blessing. Getting all of this money, being in these different venues, having more viewership is a beautiful thing, right? It's wonderful to see you on these platforms, right? But if you are on this platform and that spotlight is on you, and you do not have a firm understanding of who you are and a standard that you operate by, you're going to struggle tremendously to make sure that you are not conforming to every new rule, or conforming to every new fad or trend. So I want to highly encourage you to understand who you are, where you come from, and what you going to be about, what your standards are going to be. Because we got to figure out what you're going to stand 10 toes down on, right? We got to set a standard for how you're going to do business. We have to shift our mindset from thinking that this is just a game to shifting to being a business. And what that means is, like, there are always operating agreements and things that go along with business. There's always processes and systems in place to make sure things flow like smoothly. And for you being a business entity, because you are a business entity at this point, you have to have your role and your processes and your systems in place to help you operate smoothly. So the first thing is going to be understanding your value. Now, when I say value, I'm not talking about how much money you make. I'm not talking about the clothes you wear. I'm not talking about the girls or the dudes that you talk to. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about your true value that lies in God, the person who is your source, the person who gives you all the skills and the gifts that you have, the person who gave you the gift of athleticism. God established your true value when he created you. He created us all in his image, right? So that means that you have a baseline. God already gave you the baseline that you have everything that you need to do what you need to do. So he set that baseline for you, and the value that you add to it is basically you being a good steward over the gifts and the things that God has given you. So I want you to understand that no one can give you value, no one can take it away. So when you are out here moving and grooving and you out here connecting with these people, I want you to understand that you're already established. Like, you're already enough. That's really the message for the week, y'all. You're already enough. Now, what you do with the gifts that God gives you will be the added value on top of your baseline of your true value. And that's what the world sees. The world sees, the accolades. The world sees like you breaking records and just doing all those different things on that platform. But understanding your true value in God and in Christ means that you operate from a kingdom perspective. And that means that you have to understand how to move and not be out here just moving shiesty. So I want to encourage you this week to think about what is your value system? What are the things that you value? And how do you view yourself? What value do you put on yourself? Is it a monetary value? Are you only valuable when you're doing well? I want you to think about that while you are going through this process, because how you see you is basically how you see you will dictate what you do, how you act, who you're around, your behaviors, it dictates everything. So my biggest thing is encouraging you to make sure that you set a standard for yourself. And what that is basically like setting a rule, like setting basically operating rules, like an agreement with yourself about what you will and will not do, what you will and will not accept, how you are operating and conduct yourself when you in every facet of life, like every space. Your standard should go across the board. It shouldn't just be how you act when you're in front of a business owner. It shouldn't be just how you act in front of your mama or your dad or like your coach. Your standard is a standard. It's what's set in stone. I am about this life, right? So an example of setting a standard would be like, for instance, I am a person who always wants to do everything with integrity. So if integrity is a characteristic that I'm putting in my standards, I will exude that in every aspect of my life. So I really want y'all to think about, how do you want to show up? Like, what do you want to be your legacy? How do you want to be perceived? It doesn't matter what other people really think. It's about how you want to show up. How do you believe God is calling you to show up? And do you value the gift that he's giving you? And do you understand the purpose behind it? These are the kind of questions I want you to ask yourself, because when you make it bigger than you, because it's not just about you, this gift is not just for you. When you make it bigger than you, it allows you to operate in such a level of integrity and honor and grace that you're not gonna fumble the purpose, because you understand that it's valuable and you understand that it's about more than just you. You don't want to disappoint. It's like you want to make sure that you do everything that you can to maximize this opportunity, because it's a blessing. So this week, the message is basically, you're enough. You have true value, which is your baseline, that God created you in his image. So you already have everything that you need, everything that you could need, or everything that you can need to do what God called you to do, you already have it. But your value is basically how you steward the gifts that God has given you. So I want you to make sure that your standards are going to be a support system for making sure your value is solid. You know what I'm saying? That it's solid. And if you operate well in every area of your life and you keep the main thing, ain't no way you can't be there's no way you can't be successful. So yeah. So this week, y'all, think about those things I talked to you about, and write them down. Make sure that you look them up and make sure that you try to like get a deeper understanding of what you want, how you want to show up. And that's the baseline. And we'll keep building this month, because this is the foundation month. This is foundational February. So we will make sure we keep building on it this month to help you establish your standards a little bit more. But I just want to start off with that. Like, please take your time to understand who you are as a person, who you are in Christ, and how you want to show up. All right, y'all, until next time, stay focused, trust God, and respect the process. I'm Coach K, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.